tell you one thing, you wouldn't have expected to get one of these pins either. This is Howzit, what is cracking? My name is Harry McNulty, and I'm just back from the Paris Olympic Games. I play rugby for the Irish Sevens team. Was fortunate enough to be able to captain the lads, and it was an amazing experience. Just very honoured to be able to be in that position and represent our country very proudly on the biggest stage. And just had 3 days in Paris where we had a lot of fun. You can probably hear it in my voice. We pushed the boat out a bit, and it was great crack to be able to just celebrate, look back on, reflect, and enjoy the games and everything that goes with it. And now that I'm home back in Dublin, one of my favourite parts of the games is the Olympic pins, the opportunity to meet people from all over the world, countries that you may never get to actually go to yourself, or maybe you may never meet someone from, and then you're rubbing shoulders with them in the Olympic Village, going for food, and just a nice way to be able to interact and be able to just even have a chat for a couple of minutes, or even if it's just to swap the pins. And I like to personally try and find smaller nations, maybe whether it's just their geographical size or the amount of athletes that they have going, and tried my best to get as many pins as possible, and I did a pretty good job. I didn't get every pin, I didn't get every country, but I wanted to go through the ones that I did get and show you some of my favorites and maybe reasons why, and just, yeah, look back on the whole thing. So without further ado, this bag is full of pins. Let's go. Wow, that's good. Right, so start off from this pile here, start off very, very strong. One of my absolute favorites is from the Dutch. I love this one. It was highly sought after in the village. One of the main reasons I love it is because it's very on brand. It's a pair of clogs. It's very Dutch, and they're playing on their culture. Maybe there's a bit of a stereotype as well, but that's always in good fun, and it's just something completely different. There's no other nation doing anything like this from a pin point of view that I was able to collect anyway, that I was able to see. And it's cool for countries to really be able to embrace their tradition and be able to create something that will always remind others of the Dutch, of the games, of their experience. This, I'd say, is in my top 5 actually. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful pin. This one here is one of the many African nations. This one is from Zambia. So quite a nice pin, nice and clean, bright. Very easy to tell that it is from Zambia. Some of them maybe aren't as recognizable. They might not have the name right away. A nice little Paris emblem on it. Double Olympic emblem is there as well, which is quite cool. Quite a nice pin. I'm gonna say that a lot, I think, in this video. But Fiji. Bula. Bula sia, bula re. Bula vinaa. To all my Fijians, thank you very much for this pin. It's a really beautiful one, and it's actually different. It's on the back. It's got a bit of a safety pin rather than a traditional pin. Really nice, beautiful blue color. Fiji, Paris 24 on it. Spent 3 weeks in Fiji myself with my best friend Brandon from New York, who actually came over for the games as well. So this pin means a lot from that trip that we went, and I've got a lot of appreciation for the Fijian people, and obviously they're a fantastic sevens nation as well, 2-time gold, 1-time silver. So love this pin. This one's from Brazil, presuming that this is their actual mascot. Quite cool, colorful, playful, different design. Something that is very sought after in the pins. You don't want something or all of them to be just exactly the same in their design, and go for something fun. So thank you very much to Brazil, and quite a cool pin. This one's Canada. I actually ended up getting 3 Canadian pins. The Canadians love swapping. This one's quite cool, and it's their standard pin as well. That's the Arc de Triomphe, Canadian flag, their colors. Really beautiful pin, nice size as well. Some of the nations actually have pins for each specific sport, or maybe not each sport, but some of the specific sports. So I managed to get some other ones from the Canada team. So one of those being judo. This is Canadian judo, and quite cool. You can have the judo figure down there and representing their sport, so that's quite nice. So then when you go around the village and you meet people, when they give you a pin like this, it's a fantastic talking point, right? Oh my God, you're part of the judo team. What's that like? What did it take to be able to qualify? Or how's the tournament going? Or how are the facilities? It all opens up a conversation straight away rather than just being, oh, you're from X country, thank you very much, and see you later. So that's a fantastic one. And I have one more Canadian. Found it. Okay, great. So this one, I believe, is the synchronized swimming team. Such a beautiful pin. The turquoise, the movement of the swimmers in the water. Oh, just so beautifully made. Such a surprise to get this one. Just walking out of the food hall, and there was two of the Canadian synchronized swimmers, and they were standing right at the entrance and just on a hunt for pins, looking every nation that they needed. They were just looking for them, and then two of us walked by. Can we get a pin? Of course you can. And thank you so much. What a beautiful, beautiful pin. We'll stick on some of the bigger nations at the moment. So I managed to get Australia. G'day, mate. So I got this Australian pin from a great friend of mine, Maria Fay. She is on the volleyball team for Australia, and she is married to one of my great friends, Jack. And it's so cool, such a small world. Jack and I played some rugby together, played against each other, and then his wife is an Olympian, and we managed to meet at the games and swap pins. How cool is that? Something I'll never forget. Quite a cool pin, playing on the tradition, playing on the culture. You've got the kangaroo waving the flag, and then there's a French flag in there as well. And so sweet, and thank you so much, Marie. Thank you. I think this pin might have been my most reactionary pin. The one that people say, oh my God, love that one the most. Or, oh my God, that's such a cool pin. It is Team USA. And it is a hat. I don't think at the time I really thought too much about it. I just thought it was cool, something different, not just a flag. And obviously Team USA is massive. There's so many athletes. So I just felt like it was maybe an easy pin to get. But I actually never met anybody else with this style pin. There's a lot of different pins from Team USA, and there's a lot of different athletes in sports. So at the time, yeah, I didn't really think much about it, but a lot of people, when they saw my pin collection hanging on my lanyard, they were like, wow, that one is so cool. So thank you very much, Team USA. Continuing on with USA, I got one from the 3x3 basketball team. So that's awesome. This one is from the host, France. So this one is Le Coq, and it's a bit of a different design, thinner, kind of like lacquered on the front, where most of them kind of have like an imprint and embossing. So this one's a bit lacquered over, so it's nice and smooth. Playing again on tradition. The cock is their emblem, and always good to get one from those. Exactly sure where I got this one or why, but it was for excellence. I think I got this one from the Athlete 365 Village. So they are sort of a representative body for the athletes. They have a board, they have support systems, networks, and they also have a lot of pins. And this is one of them. And now that I think about it, I actually have a box full of pins from Athlete 365. This is one of them from one of the games, one of the interactions. This is a dove, which is quite cool, because my school, Rockwell College, its emblem is the dove. And we're part of the Spiritans, and the Spiritans, their emblem is a dove as well, so it's sort of running through it, and this is just by chance, spun a wheel, the dove came out. So it reminds me of Rockwell, my time down in the school, and basically one of the beginning parts of my rugby journey, which I managed to represent in the Olympics. All encompassing, full circle moment. Not sure how many South American pins I got. I can think of another one at the moment, but This one is from Peru. I think it's so gorgeous. The design, obviously paying homage to Peru, to their cultures, to their people. And yeah, it's really nice. Kind of like the French one, has a bit of a lacquered front on it. And I really like how there's gold running around the side of it, and just a really beautiful. This one is on the small side, and small pins were actually highly sought after as well. This one is from Norway, and the reason they were is because you wear a lanyard and then you would place all of the nation's lanyard, or the pins on your lanyard. So if you have small ones, you can obviously get a lot on there, where if they're really big, you can only have a couple. So a lot of people were looking for them. Norway, very simple, classic design, and quite cute in a sense. Another small pin, Jamaica. This is cool because it's like the torch for the Olympic Games, and then the flame colors is the Jamaican flag. Been to Jamaica 6 times, went there as a kid, loved it. Due a trip back for sure. Love the design, love the thought process, something a little extra, and a really cool pin. Another really cool pin, Thailand. Thai emblem with the elephant, and I'm not sure what the name of the sort of packing on top of the elephant is, but I know it is of cultural significance and to their team, so it's nice to have all of those elements involved in the pin. Again, kind of small, which is great, and the colors of the Olympic rings are really vibrant, and just a really well-made pin, and got a lot of compliments on this one. Thailand, well, quite a simple European pin. Team Belgium. Round, different shape than a lot of them, but very simple, clean, classic, nicely done. Not too much weight behind it. Thank you, Team Belgium. A classic, beautifully well made. Team New Zealand, a lot of compliments on this one. It's big, but it is sort of understated with the darkness from the black and then the gold coming through rather than white. Team New Zealand, the fern on there, just really classic and really beautiful pin. I got a lot of compliments about this one. So thank you, Team New Zealand. Well done to the girls on winning gold in the sevens. Team Paraguay, strong pin. One of my first pins that I got actually while I was there. Lovely bold colors, beautifully made. Really like this one. It's got a nice little feel to it as well. You can feel the textures in there. Thank you, Paraguay. One of the smaller nations involved in the games had one of the biggest pins. Tonga in the South Pacific. Simple, classic, has the lacquer sort of front, nice and smooth. Big flag, Olympic symbol on it. Thank you, Tonga. Wasn't expecting to come across this one, but I'm very happy that I did. I think this may be the smallest pin in my collection, coming from relatively small nation, Iceland. Paying homage to the volcanoes, I'm presuming the red coming up here is sort of the smoke and the red sky that it would produce. And then the Icelandic flag is sort of in a volcano shape, which is very cool. Tiny pin, really nice. Really like this. Back to South America, we have Uruguay, another small pin. Classic, Olympic logo underneath, super simple, beautiful pin. Back to Netherlands again, similar to the Belgian one, but very different to the clogs that I got earlier. This is just simple Netherlands. Front is smooth and yeah, just quite simple, nice pin. One of the biggest Olympic nations in the world, China. Classic, same as like the Uruguay one flag with the logo underneath, a little bit bigger. The way that the Olympic Village was set up actually was nearly in 2 parts. So there was a river that ran through the middle of it, and the main dining hall was on one side, and that's where Team Ireland was based, and we were right beside it. So you would have contact with all the nations that were sort of on that side. And then on the other side of the river, there was a smaller village with a smaller dining hall. And I think a lot of the countries would go there for food. China was one of those teams that was over there. So I didn't see them a whole lot, but obviously some athletes are going to come across, or if they come straight back from training, they would go straight into the main team hall for food. So really nice pin. Thank you very much, Team China. Not a pin, but one that I love a lot, Team Kenya. These are extremely popular throughout Kenya themselves. Kenyans wear them with pride. Everywhere you go in the world, when you meet a Kenyan, they are probably going to have this wristband on. So they had a bag of them in the Kenyan dorms. Team Ireland and Team Kenya were sharing. So we had a couple floors, and then Kenya had the first floor. So a lot of my mates are there. I absolutely love it there. Love this. I'm just probably going to have to get a bigger one because I can't get it past my 3 fingers. Maybe a fourth. So when I go to Kenya soon, I'll make sure to get one that fits me. But thank you so much. Asante sana. Another African country from the west side, Angola. Paying homage just to their flag and the Olympic symbols and the Olympic logo. Beautiful, easily read, strong design. Thank you, Angola. Latvia, a country I went to on a road trip between Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, and Helsinki in Finland. Riga, one of my favorite cities on that trip. It was beautiful. This is a simple design, classic, lacquered on the front. Thank you very much, Latvia. Another classic, sleek design, Team Japan. I think it's quite Japanese in a sense. Simple, sleek, well done, not too big, and just a really nice pin. This is one of my favorites. This is a big pin. In size, I looked for this one. Puerto Rico. I think this is a stunning pin. I mean, look, it's grand, it's huge. It's not too in your face though, because the color, there's not a crazy amount, it's just where it's needed. So, Puerto Rican flag. You've got the Eiffel Tower, you have nice script for Puerto Rico, and you've got the Olympic rings as well. I think this is a stunning pin. I was delighted to get it. I was jealous when I saw a few of the guys with it and I didn't have it, so went out of my way to get it. Gracias, Puerto Rico. I think this might be a battle of the Spanish-speaking nations here and the Eiffel Tower. Mexico versus Puerto Rico, both the Eiffel Tower. This one's got the sombrero, the mustache, Mexico and Paris underneath. Really fun, playful design. Awesome pin. Really love that. Just paying homage to some of their culture, maybe some stereotyping in there as well. Super fun, lighthearted. Gracias, Mexico. Team Romania. Simple pin, lacquered on the front. Not a whole lot to say about it. I like that there's like a little bit of color with the flag, or colors of the flag. It kind of just printed on 2024. I like when the year is on there as well, because it kind of shows the team has gone out of their way to make pins specifically for these Olympics, rather than just an extremely generic pin that can be pushed out to any Olympic at any time. So there was some effort put in there, and thank you very much, Romania. This is a small nation of Grenada. Little pin. I'm not sure what the emblem is. It looks like a control tower from an airport, which it possibly could be, but it is really beautiful. I really like that they've put some sort of design in there, paying homage obviously to their country. And a small little nation, something that I look for in pins. Really happy to be able to get the Grenada pin. Thank you. Now we have Venezuela. I like this one because the red mascot in the middle is actually the official Paris Games mascot, which is paying homage to the beret, I'm pretty sure, of France. So cool that they've included that to have the Venezuela flag on top. It is lacquered finish, nice and flat, and quite a cool pin. Nice touch. Thank you, Venezuela. This pin goes to, I think, the country that pays the most amount of money to an athlete for winning a gold or winning a medal. This is for Singapore. Really big, strong pin. Eiffel Tower, obviously, clean. Singapore is somewhere that we play on the World Series every year, so a place that I really love going, have a lot of fond memories from Singapore. Beautiful, small nation, obviously, and yeah, they pay hundreds of thousands, as far as I'm aware, if you win a gold. So pretty cool. Hopefully someone from Singapore goes and wins himself a medal. That'd be great. Thanks, Singapore. As we make our way through the pins, we're starting to get close to the heavy hitters, my personal favorites for different reasons. So before we get into them, this one isn't a nation, this one is for participation. I'm not sure how I ended up with this medal. It says 108 out of 200 on the back, and it also says Beijing 2022 and Paris 24. So Beijing 2022 was the Winter Olympics just gone, and Paris 24 obviously is now. So I'm not sure where this came from. I think it might have come from a volunteer at the Paris Games that wanted to trade a pin with me. So they were, I'm presuming, involved in Beijing as well. But quite a cool pin, big, nice that it pays homage to both of the games, and something a little bit different and not something that I expected to collect while at the games. So if you've got one, let me know. It says 108 out of 200, so maybe I've got a bit of a collector's item here. Who knows? Here is the BVI, the British Virgin Islands. A big pin for a small nation, and they've put a lot of work into this. It's a really beautiful pin. Loving the colors, the rings, the feel. It's embossed. It's just a really, really beautiful pin. Thank you so much. So cool. Delighted to be able to have this. Wow. Nice small pin. Egypt. So with the flag on the bottom, the Olympic rings on top, really cool. Simple, classic design. They were dressed really nicely for the opening ceremony. Great pin. Another unique pin, this one from Beijing 2022, the Winter Olympics. How did I end up with this from Paris? Well, we had an activation where we were able to do 3D rendering of ourselves in a room full of cameras, and we were able to kind of do whatever we wanted in there, and then that was going to be rendered out and then sent over to us.
How are we? My name's Jordan Conroy.
I'm Harry McNulty.
We're from Team Ireland.
And we play rugby sevens.
Let's go.
While we were in the room, the guys that were working on that project had a necklace full of pins, and they wanted an Irish one, and their necklace full of pins was all of the Olympics that they had worked at before, and Beijing 2022 was one of them. So he said he had no problem with me swapping it for this one. And I think this is epic. So cool. Definitely one of my favorites. This pin here, fully gold in color. China, Hong Kong, somewhere we play every year on the World Series. So many amazing memories. This is a cool pin. Look at the back. There's a bit of a dial you have to turn to be able to get it off. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. Here we go. Really classy pin. Yeah, push, and yeah. Really classy pin. Beautiful, just fantastic. Thank you, China, Hong Kong. North African country, Algeria. Really cool, I like it, it's just simple. I quite like the ones that are just the flag with the Olympic rings underneath. Lovely color, sort of embossed, well made. Got the flag in there. Thank you very much, Algeria. Another European country, Slovakia, really small, cute pin. They've managed to get their emblem in from their flag. Beautiful, beautiful pin. And always I love this little touch of the Olympic symbol at the bottom. Here's the Swiss flag, very Swiss. Simple, well made, just doing what they need to do. Great little pin. I like how the design is a bit different as well. Awesome. Okay. This is a pin very special to me. This is where I was born, Bahrain. Similar to the China Hong Kong flag or pin, it's all in gold, and I love it. I'm biased, but no, it's cool because there's a bit of more of a design, not just the general shape, and got Bahrain written on there with the logo underneath. Didn't see anyone from Bahrain except for one gentleman. I believe they were on the other side of the Olympic Village like I was talking about earlier. So they weren't in the food hall all the time. And as soon as I saw him, I was like, I need to swap pins with you, please. Not everybody has pins on them, so I wasn't sure if he was even gonna have a pin. He did. And yeah, just absolutely delighted. Thank you so much. Shukran. So a small little place, fully encompassed by France. Monaco, cool flag, two of them together, Olympic Committee and Monaco itself. I played rugby for Monaco in a sevens tournament. So delighted to be able to get this one. Was able to see their flag and their apartments across from the Irish one. So once I saw that, I was like, okay, let's go and find something from Monaco. So thank you very much. Dage, Monaco. I'm gonna start getting a little more niche here. Smaller nations, pins. Gabon. Wow, I am delighted to have gotten myself Gabon. Small, simple pin. I like it this way, just with the flag and the Olympic rings on it. Was just, delighted to be able to get this pin. Oh my God, I can't even tell you. So cool, something so different. Thank you. Team Korea, Korean colors, chicken in the middle, super cool flag, something a little fun. I like the K, done up a bit differently. Thank you, Team Korea. Wow. We're really getting into the cool pins now. I've been saving these ones. This pin was highly sought after because it is so beautifully made. It's big, it's strong. It is Panama. So nice, black with the gold, similar to New Zealand, big and strong, punchy, really beautiful pin. Thank you so much, Panama. Awesome. I'm really happy I was able to get Ukraine. Obviously terrible what the nation of Ukraine is going through at the moment with the war. Fantastic that they have athletes there competing, and I'm delighted to have been able to get this pin. So thank you very much, Ukraine. All right, lads, we're almost there. This is a super cool pin. Small African country encompassed by South Africa. We have Lesotho, or Lesotho, depending, I suppose, how you want to pronounce it. But this pin is cool because I believe that the shape of this pin is the same as the shape of the nation. Has their flag running through it as well. Really beautiful flag. And yeah, quite a cool pin. I like the way that they've gone after the shape of their own country to create the pin. A little bit of extra work going into that. Really beautiful, cool. Thank you. Similar in the aspect to Gabon, a smaller, more niche nation. One that you wouldn't think about before going to the games, but delighted to be able to meet someone from there. Suriname, in the northern part of South America, above Brazil, in between Guyana and French Guyana, you have Suriname. So really cool pin, really something different. Love this one because it was a really cool talking point. A lot of people would see my pins, they're like, oh, where's that country? Okay, yes, have this, have that. I know there was quite a few people who had not heard of Suriname actually, and was wondering where that was. And a lot of people were mistaken that they thought it was in Africa, on the continent of Africa, but it's the one across to the other side, South America. Really cool pin. Delighted I was able to get this. Thank you, Suriname. Another country paying homage to the mascot of the games. We have Argentina, big pin, strong. I like how this one has an Argentinian scarf running around its neck and it's celebrating. So cool. Oh, yep. Awesome. Awesomely made pin. Right beside Suriname, we have Guyana. So delighted I was able to get this one right beside Suriname. Beautifully made. I mean, it's such a strong pin. So gorgeous. The Eiffel Tower there, French flag, Guyana colors, everything that you need in a pin, it's right there. Thank you, Guyana. Not much I can say about this pin other than wow. Bhutan, over in the Himalayas, landlocked country. I think it's one of the coolest flags in the world. So if you stick one of the coolest flags in the world on a pin, you've got a cool pin in my opinion. That's all I need to really say. Just fantastic. Delighted to be able to get a Bhutan pin. Right beside Bhutan is Mongolia. Another great pin. Paying homage to the flag here, the Mongolian emblem. I like how the whole thing is cut out. It's not just stuck in and just a square shape. So it adds some dynamic viewing and feel and texture and just eye-catching. So really cool Mongolian pin. Okay, I really like when nations play on certain stereotypes, things that are known or thought about a country, and then they go and do that and put that in something as iconic as an Olympic pin. This shape, what's that, a triangle? Where in the world is synonymous with a triangle other than Bermuda? Yes, the Bermudan triangle, famous pink color, just a cool pin. Like, to go out of your way and just do that, it's something that's a little bit special. You'll never forget it, and it just is synonymous with the country, and I just think that's so fun. And everybody that I showed was like, loved it, thought it was a great idea, and some of the guys got one as well, and they were really happy about it too. So thank you, Bermuda. A classic once again, Togo, small West African country with their flag and then the logo underneath. what more to say about it other than it's classic, it's beautiful, it's well made, strong colors. Thank you very much. Lads, this is a bloody cool pin. It's a cool country. Guinea-Bissau. This says 154 out of 200 on the back as well. So I think it may be limited. Just a beautifully made pin. Eiffel Tower in the middle, small West African nation. They've gone out of their way to make something so beautiful, so unique. Hopefully make my way there someday. I am over the moon with this pin, so cool. What seems to be a close cousin of the pin, not the country, is Belize. With the toucan, another bird, beautiful, well made, nice colors. Gorgeous, gorgeous pin, one of my favorites. Cabo Verde. Bet you didn't think I was gonna get a pin from there. Small island, fantastic. Once I saw the team, a lot of, most nations have either their country on the front or the back, in the dining hall, lining up to go get myself some pizza. And I'm looking to the left, just trying to weigh up some other options in the dining hall over at the pizza station, things like that. And sure enough, a bloke beside me walks past Cabo Verde on the back of the shirt. It was pretty much a no-brainer. Straight over to him, left the pizza line, asked him if his team or himself had any pins. They didn't at the time, but they were just about to eat and they knew that there were some pins down at the table. So I told him I'd meet him 5 minutes later when I finished my food and we could swap pins. Cabo Verde, thank you so much. Beautiful pin. Talking about small islands, I've got 3 of them here in my hand. So we'll go one at a time. They're all from the South Pacific. I would say there's only a handful of athletes from these nations altogether. So I don't know how many there was from each one, but I know it's not a lot. So it's an honor to be able to get one of these pins. Vanuatu, starting off first. I'm not sure how many athletes are there, but how cool is that? Do you know what? I'm gonna look it up. There is 6 athletes from Vanuatu at the Paris Games, 6, and I managed to get 1 pin. Crazy, I saw Vanuatu, I ran straight over. I love trying to find the smaller nations, so thank you so much. Not far from Vanuatu is Tuvalu. I hope I'm pronouncing that right as well. Tuvalu, another tiny, tiny nation in the South Pacific. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw someone from Tuvalu and I was like, ran straight over. Please, can we swap pins? And they managed to have one. Thank you so much. Beautiful pin. How many athletes were from Tuvalu? Wikipedia is saying there's 2 athletes from Tuvalu at the Olympic Games in Paris. So I have 1/2 of the athletes from Tuvalu pins right here. Finally, another small nation, the Cook Islands. Wow, so cool being able to get the Cook Islands. Love the flag, love the play. Let's see how many are from the Cook Islands. Okay, so the Cook Islands has 2 athletes based on this newspaper article that I was able to find. So 2 from Tuvalu, 2 from Cook Islands, 6 from Vanuatu. I'm delighted I was able to get all 3 of those pins. Thank you so much. This one's a bit of a heavy hitter. Kosovo, not a team that I was expecting to see, just because I think that they were also on the other side of the village. And during the opening ceremony, when all the teams were dressed up and walking and getting ready to leave the village, meant that there was a lot of people constantly going past me and I was going around the village, and Kosovo was one of those teams. Really cool flag, really cool pin. Thank you very much. The Cayman Islands, super cool. The turtle, the black in the middle, just really well made pin, super beautiful and yeah, delighted to be able to get this one. I love the colors in all the legs of the turtle here. Wow. I think this is the nicest made pin that I got on the whole exchange. This is Chinese Taipei. Look how fantastic that pin is. It is beautiful. Oh my God. Stunning, stunning, stunning pin. Super cool. And this is their emblem. This is their logo that they have for their association, for their team. Awesome pin. The Central African Republic, and there's a diamond here. They're obviously known for the exportation of diamonds. And this is obviously a small nation, I believe, in terms of athlete numbers, but a huge, huge nation in terms of the size. Very cool to be able to get one of these pins. Beautifully made, something different. Yeah, thank you. Strong pin here, Malaysia, nice flag, beautiful colors, Olympic logo. As I said enough times, I love these types of pins. I think they're beautiful. And yeah, really nice how it's embossed as well, so there's a nice feel to it too. Thank you, Malaysia. Back over to West Africa, we have Benin. Love this pin. Love this pin. The shape of the country. Just like Lesotho, they made the pin the shape of their country. That's so cool. On the back of the pin, it says 727 out of 750. So hopefully this is a bit of a limited pin. Hard to come across. But yeah, so cool. Stick the flag in the middle. The shape of the country. Awesome. Another pin, the shape of the country. This one's a big one. This one is coming from sort of the middle of Asia. This is Tajikistan. So cool. Was just waiting in line at what was called a grab and go. It was like a little booth that had some sandwiches, drinks, dotted around the Olympic Village. 2 athletes from Tajikistan standing in front of me. I asked so many athletes from different stands if they had pins. None of them had them at the time. This guy had a backpack on. I was like, right, if anyone's gonna have a pin, they're gonna have it in their backpack. Sure enough, he had a fresh bag of them, had never been opened, had to tear it open for me, get me the Tajikistan pin, and in the shape of the country. That is so cool. On the back it says limited to 200. His bag looked like he had about 50 of them in there, so I don't know if that's 200 per the athlete or what, but yeah, awesome. I think this is one of the coolest pins that I came across. This one got so much love from everyone, like wow, what an amazing pin. El Salvador, beautifully made, lovely, lovely design. Just, they really put a lot into this pin, you can tell. And yeah, it caught a lot of compliments, so thank you very much. A tiny little cute pin from the big country of Uzbekistan, right next to Tajikistan. Fought hard to try and find one of these, was difficult, managed to do so in the end, and look how cute it is, tiny. It's so cool, I love it, thank you. This pin is fantastic. It's one of my favorites, partly because it was going to be hard to come by. Didn't expect to find it. It was also the first pin that I swapped while in the Paris 24 games in the food court. Day 1, it is Guam. Beautifully made pin, nice deep red color, turtle inside, the middle of it. Team Guam, the Olympic emblem, I mean, just so beautifully made. My first pin of this games, will not forget it. Thank you very much. Over on the east coast of the African continent, squished between Somalia, Sudan, Ethiopia, we have Djibouti. Not a country I was expecting to get. Again, in the village, turned around, there was a few athletes from Djibouti, had to run over and ask, do you have any pins? I would love to swap them with you. And sure enough, they did. Thank you very much. Prized possession. These 2 pins are heavy hitters, huge heavy hitters. We have Iran, powerhouse nation. Wasn't expecting to get this pin. Just walking down the road, got a tap on the shoulder. Hey, would you like to swap? Why not? Beautiful pin, nice flag with the Olympic logo underneath. Like I said before, love those types of pins, but yeah, wasn't expecting to get that one. Last but not least, a pin I really didn't expect to get. I know I said that a few times, didn't expect this, didn't expect that. I'll tell you one thing, you wouldn't have expected to get one of these pins either. This is North Korea. Okay, I know I've said, didn't expect to get this pin, didn't expect to get that pin. I said that a lot, fair enough. But some of the countries are quite niche, small, maybe don't have that many athletes. I'll tell you one thing, if there's one pin you're gonna agree on with me that you wouldn't have expected me to get, it is this one. North Korea. The judo team specifically. Walking through the food hall, 6 North Korean athletes walking down right beside me with their food. Why not chance it? Tapped on the shoulder. Hey, do you happen to have any pins? They somehow managed to understand me because I wouldn't say that English is their first language. Showed him my pin just to try and make sure that the message was coming across. And sure enough, told me to come and follow him. Put his stuff down. He had a bag of pins in his pocket, passed it out to me. And I actually did see another North Korea pin from one of the other Irish athletes, and it was a boxing pin. So they've made pins specifically for different sports. This one is, in fact, the judo one. Wow, so cool. what an amazing experience. Absolutely love being able to go around. I love my geography. I love traveling the world. I love sport. All of those things combined together at the Olympic Games, to be able to meet all these different people, to enjoy being able to see a country's flag on their jersey or on their top, try and rack my brain, where is that country, do I know that flag, be able to try and guess it, get it right, and then go over and be able to swap a pin with someone. It was so fun. It's definitely one of my favorite parts of being an athlete in the Olympic Village. Oh, I just wish I could have gotten them all from all the nations. That's all I've got. I was only in the village for about 4 or 5 days, and the first couple of days a lot of teams didn't have pins because it was before the opening ceremony, and a lot of the nations were given them on the opening ceremony. We were given them before we flew, so a lot of people I asked, they didn't have pins when I was there. So I actually gave a lot of pins away to nations in hopes that I was able to see them later on during the week to get one back. And some I did, some I didn't. So maybe, look, if your pin isn't there, if you're watching this and you're an athlete and you've got pins and you want to share and you want to trade, I've got some left. I would love to do so. I'd love to add to my collection. I'd love to add an Irish one to yours. So please reach out. Let's make it happen. Let's extend this pin collection, and thank you very much for joining. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, please leave them below. I'd love to answer them, and maybe I can do this again sometime soon. Cheers.